In this video, we'll use Ecto's Repo, Schema, Query, and Changeset components to work with database records. We'll use all these components to add structure around records in a database. This is useful for when you want to explore or update the data. At the end of the video, we'll also see an example of seeding the data using the structure we've built up. Firstly, let's examine the data we'll be working with. I have a connection to our database, so we can now execute some SQL. Let's look at our customers table. As we can see, there are only a few records. This table only has ID and email columns. Next, let's look at the payments table. The payments table has an ID, amount, and customer ID columns. We can assume the customer ID column is a foreign key. Now let's add some structure to this. We'll add our EctoSQL and Postgres dependencies. Now we'll define our repo, which allows us to communicate with the database. Next, we can execute some SQL via repo using the query function. Rather than passing a SQL query string, we can start using EctoQuery. But EctoQuery can be more helpful if we use a schema. So let's define a schema for customer and payment. Now, what can we do? We can simplify our queries for one. Or, better yet, but now that we have a schema, we can use associations. We can now preload using query or repo. Here's an example using repo.preload. Now, this is pretty handy for querying, but what about inserting and updating the data? How do we insert data but still abide by our application's constraints? Let's see how to use Ecto Changeset to add validations and insert seed data. But before we do so, please give this video a like and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this one. Liking and subscribing also tells YouTube to show this video to other developers. Thank you so much for your help. Now let's import Changeset and add a Changeset function. This is beginning to look like what a Phoenix generator gives you. So if we've gone this far, let's add the final context function for ease of use. And there you have it. We can now easily seed our data while abiding by the constraints we've defined. At this point, if you've been using Phoenix, you might as well copy your entire schema in order to ensure that the data validations are adhered to. Let's seed the payments table with 1,000 records. And there you go. If you want to see how to use Livebook to connect to a database and use SQL, please click on the following video.